Hi, welcome to Carrie's Corner, and today I'm going to start a series on the book of Ruth. Now, I love this book. I've always loved this book. It's one of my favorites in the Bible, as well as Esther, and I just wanted to do a whole series on this. I'm going to read a couple of the first verses in the chapter. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land, and a man from Bethlehem in Judah, together with his wife and 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife's name was Naomi, and the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem, Judah, and they went to Moab and lived there. Now, this is important, too, because I just realized, and I never realized it before, that this book is part of the book of Judges. So, in the book before, all the judges are ruling. It kind of goes through those judges and what they went through. But this is actually part of it, and I never realized that. And I thought it was just a cool detail to put in the video. Now, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. They married Moabite woman, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her 2 sons and her husband. Now, this is a big deal back in those days, too, because when your husband died, and your 2 sons died. A woman in the Bible is probably very hard to survive because, it's kind of hopeless. Well, not hopeless, but back in those days, it was very difficult to survive because the men did a lot. They hunted for the food, so it was difficulty for sure. When she heard in Moab that the Lord had come to the aid of his people by providing food for them, Naomi and her daughters-in-law prepared to return from there. With her 2 daughters-in-law she left in place when she had been living, set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to your dead and me. May the Lord grant each of you that you will find rest in the home of another husband." Then she kissed him and wept aloud and said to her, "We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to give you another husband. Even if I thought I was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has gone out against me." Now here there's a harsh reality. Naomi, like I said, had just lost her husband and 2 sons. She's saying here, hey, even if I had another son today, for each of you, there's no guarantee, that you would stay unmarried and wait for them. So it was a big deal. They had more to offer at home in their own, in their own environment. They could go back and get provided for, they could get cared for, but here they're widowed. They have no husbands to take care of them. So we're going to look here in the choices each one of her daughter-in-laws made. At this they wept again. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you will stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates you and me." And a lot of times you hear even this verse at weddings. A lot of times they'll read this to talk about loyalty. I think the first chapter in the book of Ruth is such a great example of loyalty. Ruth said, "I'm not leaving you. I'm not forsaking you. I'm going with you wherever you go, no matter what." So it's just really cool to see just the loyalty that she shows to her mother-in-law. Just where Orpah turned back. Loyalty, friendship kept Ruth there with her. So the 2 women went on till they came to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them, and the woman exclaimed, "Can this be Naomi?" "Don't call me Naomi," she told them. "Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me. The Almighty has brought a misfortune upon me." So Naomi returned from Moab, accompanied by Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, arriving in Bethlehem as the barley harvest was beginning. So here you see a couple different things. Naomi has a huge loss. She just says, "I don't want to be called Naomi anymore. I am bitter about this loss. I'm struggling with this loss. And Ruth saw that, and she said, hey, I'm sticking with you. So you can learn a lot about, I think in this first chapter, about friendship. She said, I'm really down and out. I'm really having a hard time. And Ruth decided to stay with her and not leave her. When she could have gone back to a life of luxury, a life of being taken care of, she says, hey, I'm going to really stick this out with you, and I'm not going to leave you. So I think this first chapter, like I said, it talks a lot about loyalty and friendship. And we can take that away as we're going through our daily life, about that loyalty and friendship, saying, hey, even in the worst of times, I'm sticking with you. And that's what Jesus does with us. Like, even in the worst of times, like he says, you know, you might not want me, but I want you. I want to, you know, I want you to take a hold of me with everything that you are. I want you to cling to me, and I will be your friend. Because a lot of people don't see Jesus as a friend as well as a savior. He's not only your savior, but he's your best friend, and he will stay with you when everybody else walks out. So I think we need to model this in our own life and be like Jesus in the fact that we are loyal to people, we love people. Because it's really a lost art. People aren't loyal today. Friends aren't loyal today. And I think that's something that we can just take away from this chapter in the first book, in the book of Ruth. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I'm going to continue the series on the book of Ruth. So stay tuned, and I love you, and I hope you have a good day.